Peace, beautiful. I thank you for joining me for this next video. I am Lani G, the CEO and founder of Loving the Journey, and I am a spiritual mentor and intuitive healer for Black women. I help Black women like you learn who they are, what they need, and how to align with their life's vision. And today I want to talk about what is the first step, the beginning step to before you start to do anything, start to do the work, start to do the journaling, start to do the active healing. What is this first step? And the first step is knowing that you're ready to do the work. And I want to discuss this because I think it's important for us to identify that we are ready to do the work. Like, what are some signs that you are ready to do the work? Because one, my application is currently open for the Get Your Shit Together program, and I am accepting applicants. So if you're interested, please click the link below to learn more about the program as well as to submit your application, because we get started, by the time you see this video, we get started next week. So you might want to get on it, sis. Okay. But this program is a 3-month group spiritual mentorship program for Black women that are on their healing journeys, ready to get started or restarted on their healing journey. So this is exactly the topic that we need to be talking about with you, sis, if that's you. All right. And so before I get into it, I want to share like a little bit of a story, because thinking about this topic really brought me back to my beginning of my healing journey and how I knew it was time, And like, especially now with the knowledge and awareness that I have of what it means to do this work, I knew I was ready in the beginning moments, because first and foremost, I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. Okay. I was disgusted with the way my life had turned out. I was upset at my circumstances. I was just like, I'm tired of ending up here. This place where I'm feeling like I'm at the beginning again, or I'm not getting it right, or like, I'm just not living the life that I feel like I know I deserve to live. I was in that place of like, what the hell? Something got to change. Something has got to change. And so I decided to start. I started with journaling. I started with doing yoga, starting with really being consistent in my yoga practice, because I have been doing yoga. I would go to a little cute yoga class. I would go to, I would turn on YouTube and, go to do a little 10-minute practice, but I was never disciplined in my efforts to connect my mind, body, and soul. And at that point, I'm smiling because I just constantly think back to where I was. And I was just at such a low place. Now, I'm not saying you got to be at your, the worst place ever in order to start your healing journey, but it typically ends up where a lot of us are. And typically we do end up in that place. And that's when we're like, well, I'm sick of this. Okay. I want something different. That's usually where we are. We're like, I want something different. I just don't know how to get to the different. And so for me, what it was at the time, still didn't know, but my ancestors were guiding me to certain things. At the time, I was broke as a joke, okay? Didn't have no money coming in, could not find a job to save my life. And I promise y'all, that's a fact. And so I was like, well, I don't got no money to like hire nobody to help me. I don't know what to do. And so they were guiding me to different YouTubers to follow, just, researching like self-help, reading the books that I had and I never picked up to read and stuff like that. And so I also realized what I had to be in that moment was I had to be willing. I had to be willing to have a different experience. And that comes up really when you are given an opportunity to choose something different. And the question is, are you willing to choose differently? Because here, I'm gonna give you an example of how you know if you're ready. If you telling me what's going on in your life, right? And I respond, I let you get it out. I validate your experience. And then I say, have you tried this? You say, no. I say, how about we try that this week? And you say, well, I just don't know how that will work because, and I can't do no more than I'm doing right now because I work 40 hours a week and I have to commute so long to get to work. And my husband, he don't really help me with the kids, and I just really can't take on any more right now. And so that's how I know you're not ready. Okay. Because instead of being willing to find a way to implement your change, be willing to have a different experience, you're going to have to do something differently. And that's the problem with a lot of us when we get to this point of like, I'm tired of being tired. We're not tired enough yet. We're really not that tired if you are not willing to do something different. Change requires change. If you want to see a different reality, you're going to have to be different in your approach to your reality. Even if it's as simple as, and most times, if not all the time, it's really as simple as changing your mindset. I'm not saying it's easy. It is simple. It is simple. And what I do with my clients is what we start with is our beliefs, which come from our thoughts. You know, your thoughts become your beliefs, your repetitive thoughts, the things that always come up in your mind, the things that you attach to and say, yes, this is my truth, or no, this is not my truth. And so we start with this process of challenging what it is that you believe. And so in reality, when we allow our excuses to control our lives, because that's really what they are, it's an excuse. When you say, well, I can't because, you are closing the door on your change. You are closing the door on the transformation of your life. And so I was just reading this Rising, You Are a Badass at Making Money. Thank you, Jensen Saro. And a line she said in there was, an excuse is nothing but a challenge you've given your power to. And I want you to sit with that. Because when we live and we know in our heart of hearts that nothing has more power over us than we do not allow an external circumstance to change or dictate what the action that we take. No matter what, when you know that I want a different reality, I'm going to get that no matter what. I'm going to look for the option. I'm going to look for the solution for me to get the reality that I desire. And so if it starts with me giving myself new affirmations in order to tell myself a new story, that's what it's going to start with. If it then moves on to me challenging my thoughts every time they start to come up, when I'm in a certain situation that triggers that old belief system, I'm going to do that. When it moves on into my family, my friends, my community actively pushing me away because they are now rejecting my new boundaries, then it's going to be that. And so we have to be willing to be in that space. If you're not willing to be in that space, you are not ready. And this is not shaming you into being ready. It's letting you know you're not ready. And this is what you can do to get ready is to write about why you are so unwilling. Write about what you are afraid of. Because usually that is what it is. We are afraid of all the things that are going to happen once our life changes. Every single change is going to now occur because you made one choice. And that choice is to love yourself. And that choice to love yourself means a lot more things are going to have to shift. And that is that I want to validate you that is a very scary thing, right? Because your life now feels grounded because it feels comfortable, but you are not grounded in your truth. You're not grounded in your knowing of your real true power. And so our power does scare us sometimes. And so today I invite you to explore your resistance to being willing. I invite you to explore what it is that you are really afraid of. Because when we write it down, we make it real. And we can see it, we can face it head on. And when we allow it to just stay in the back of our minds, when we allow it to just, be around, but not really here, looking in the mirror at it, we are not able to then make a choice. And so we sit in the comfortability of not making a choice. We sit in that space of, well, I don't have to take responsibility for it because I don't know it's there. And so when we write it down, we show it to ourselves. It is right there in our face. And now we have to take the responsibility, take our power back and say, this is not how I want to live my life. And now you have to do something about it. So today I invite you to challenge yourself in that way. I invite you to ask yourself, what are you willing to do? What are you willing to do, sis? And if you are willing and if you are ready to start your healing journey with true commitment to your own liberation, I invite you to join me for the next 3 months in my Get Your Shit Together program. I invite you to apply to join me in my 3-month program that ends with a beautiful 3-day retreat here in Houston, Texas, with other Black women that are on their journey, so that you can finally feel supported, feel understood, feel loved in true sisterhood and divine friendship. And so I invite you to do that. And I look forward to reading your application. I look forward to meeting with you for the consultation. And I look forward to working with you for the next 3 months. It's going to be a beautiful journey, okay? So thank you for tuning into my video. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up if you found it to be valuable. Send it to a sis in need that needs to hear this message, that needs to know how to become willing to open up her heart to receive what the universe has for her. And make sure you subscribe to this channel so that you stay in community with me and know when I drop future videos. Turn on the post notification too, so you know exactly when they drop, sis, because I drop videos every day of the week. So I thank you so much once again for sharing your valuable time with me. And I invite you to be willing, okay? See you next time, sis. Peace.